Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters, business to business sales. Business to business sales. You know, I'm going to tell you what, and it's not talked about enough. And I might or might not have talked about it. Well, I'm not into business to business sales personally or on a big measure. I mean, I've done it before, but you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. Now, I've done it before years ago when my books first came out. Even though I did a lot of direct sales and preferred direct sales, a lot of my sales were to businesses. A lot of my sales were to business, not consignment either. Like they just paid for them outright. Like there was a book distributor in the Baltimore area, African World Books. They just paid for the books outright. They paid for the books outright, just gave me the money, boom, you know? And that was the thing, you know, and that was just a small thing. But there's plenty of businesses that don't have, you can be in business and never deal with the general public. Now, you're still dealing with the customer, but your customer is different. Like I really learned this back in the day. I was hanging out, you know, I don't know, people who follow me a long time know I talked about this man who had, he owned like several buffalo wing joints. And I remember I was hanging out with him one day because he was going to this place in D.C. that was way out of the way. You had to know it was there, but they had all this. They had all these supplies like plates, styrofoam plates, cups, plastics, forks, spoons, and knives. All the stuff like any restaurant would need. And then I say, oh, you know what? That's a lot of money there. And they don't have to deal with the general public. They deal with the business. And that could be a great thing. I mean, it's like one time when I was still married, my now co-parent, she used to make cookies for businesses, vegan cookies. And we would sell them not directly to the public, but to local stores. We had maybe 4 places in the area we could sell them to. You know, that's business to business. See, if you think about it, when you look at all these retail businesses, most of them didn't create their own products. Even if they have like a department store, they got what's so-called store brand, they still had to have somebody make it, somebody separate. Now, most they might have, you generally don't build it themselves. They'll have somebody else build it and then sell it to them, and then they'll sell it to the general public at a markup. But you can make a lot of money if you have something to supply a business. Like the book example again, like all these bookstores, most of them don't publish their own books. But say you're an author, and you might not be that type of author who can just go out, hustle, sell the books out of the trunk of your car. But you sell them to the bookstore, they'll take care of it. That's business to business. Getting supplies, getting restaurant supplies and stuff. That's business to business. Getting food, that's business to business. You know, like you get these food factories and stuff. They don't sell directly to the public. At least as far as I know, there might be somebody say, you know, well, we're going to skip everybody and have an outlet right here. But we're going to sell, and plenty of stores have outlets, but most of the time they sell it to another business. And that's very profitable. That's very profitable, especially if you had a type of business. Like it could be a service business. Like I remember at my gym, there was a piece of equipment that was quite frankly busted. And then, you know, it took them a while, you know, with COVID and this labor thing. But it showed, you know, somebody showed up, they was fixing it. Now, they might never deal with the general public, but they dealing with the business. Or anything in there is business. You look at any of these frontline businesses where they dealing directly with the public. Somebody had to build the products in there. Somebody had to make the food in there. And you can go a long way. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. You could probably make more money. You can make more money. Like, I don't know. Let's say you had some product. It's a food product, right? Let me think. Cupcakes. Just cupcakes now. I didn't want to think too hard about it. Okay, say you got some cupcakes. You don't want to open up your store where you got to deal with customers every day, which can be a problem, and customers can be very irate. But you like say you're in the area, you got the licenses and everything. You got a bakery. You don't want to deal with the public, but you make contact with different stores in the area, maybe even different restaurants or something, and say, hey, I can, I'll let's have a deal where I'm making several cupcakes for your business. Boom. Now, it might not seem much when you deal with that one, but say you got 30 stores. You can make a lot of money. And then all you can do, you just need to just focus on making the stuff. And in fact, to even be supplied to make those cupcakes, you dealing with other businesses. You see how that works. You seeing how that works. Indeed, that's a whole, I'm not sure about the percentage. I didn't look it up. But there's probably most businesses are dealing with someone else. That's why I'm going to tell you what. That's why when we had those lockdowns for COVID, it didn't just affect the frontline businesses. Like you had the restaurants and like bars and stuff closed, but it affected also the people who supplied those places. Like say somebody made restaurant stuff, like the styrofoam containers, plates, or carry-out stuff, But the carry-out was closed, and several carry-outs were closed. Then the people who made it, they were getting in trouble. See how that works? So it's out there anyway, and business-wise, it's something to really think about. What do you have? Can you supply some businesses? It's short customers, and then it's up to them, the businesses themselves to make the money, get the customers. Think about it. Like, most of the time it's like products, but you can also have services that maybe you provide. Maybe you that type who could repair the stuff at a laundromat. That's business to business. You can repair, you know how to repair the stuff or even build the equipment for it. That's very key. So understand that. Think about that. Think about what skills that you have that could help out a business or what product you could create that could be sold to a business. And see, one thing about selling to another business is just business. Because one thing, when you sell into the public, there's a lot of personal stuff that go into it. Like somebody might not buy from you just because you rub them the wrong way. Businesses, they just want to know, does the product work or the service work? They might not like you personally, but they're just like, well, we need that supply. Boom. There you go. So business to business. Keep it in mind. All right. So let's go make that money.